Thyroid cancer is a cancer that starts in the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is a butterfly-shaped gland that is placed in front of a person's neck. General functions of the gland are to increase metabolism and decrease blood calcium levels. Growths and tumors can grow on the thyroid when the cancer develops. In some cases, the growths and tumors are so large that you can see them protruding from the neck. If the cancer cells spread, it can harm the rest of the body as well. Damage to the thyroid ultimately leads to multiple body systems being affected, and the body's homeostasis is disrupted. We interviewed Caitlin's cousin, Chris Orndorff, who was 35 when she was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. She ultimately needed to have her thyroid removed, but once removed, she recovered fully and lives a relatively normal life.
The cardiovascular system is the system responsible for transporting blood throughout the body. The major organ associated with the cardiovascular system is the heart. To stay in homeostasis, the cardiovascular system either vasoconstricts or vasodilates blood vessels to accommodate for high or low blood pressure. Thyroid cancer affects the cardiovascular system by making the person's blood pressure increase or decrease depending on the type of thyroid cancer and the treatment the person goes through to treat the cancer. The body would then again try to either vasodilate or vasoconstrict the blood vessels to try and get the blood pressure back to normal ranges.
The respiratory system is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the lungs and atmosphere. We breathe in oxygen into our lungs and we breathe out carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Homeostasis in the respiratory system affects gas transport and pH. When a person has thyroid cancer, they usually develop a large lump that puts pressure on the thyroid, which is located on the trachea. This makes it difficult to breathe, resulting in the body not being able to go through with this function of gas exchange. The digestive system works its system of organs to make the food we eat into energy. It takes out the nutrients of the food we eat to send it to the rest of our body as well. The digestive system responds to keep homeostasis by removing wastes from the body and by absorbing nutrients from the food we eat. With thyroid cancer, your thyroid can secrete too little thyroid, and it affects the production of stomach acid because of its effect on gastrin. Other effects could be weight loss resulting from hypothyroidism, weight gain resulting from hypothyroidism, bloating, and heartburn.
The urinary system is responsible for filtering the blood for waste and producing and excreting urine. In order to stay in homeostasis, the kidneys try to maintain a proper water balance and pH in the body. If the person's blood pressure is too high, the kidneys filter out more water in order to decrease the blood volume. If the person's blood pressure is too low, the kidneys try and reabsorb more water in order to bring the blood volume up. If the person's pH is too high, the kidneys try and get rid of excess H+, and if the pH is too low, it stops removing H+. If a person has thyroid cancer, it can affect the urinary system by the effects it has on blood pressure. The person wouldn't be producing enough thyroid hormone, so it would cause a spike in blood pressure. So the body would then try and bring down the blood pressure by producing more waste or urine.
The immune system, sometimes called the lymph system, is important in the body to fight off infectious agents and stores lymphocytes and lymph cells. The immune system responds to microbes that could be throwing off homeostasis. The immune system recognizes foreign pathogens and responds by sending out phagocytes, which eats the pathogen. After this, your immune system goes back to a state of rest. With thyroid cancer, many hormones that are needed for immune response are hindered. So if your body cannot secrete these hormones, homeostasis will not be maintained.
Metabolism is the way the body breaks down chemicals to produce energy. The three macronutrients that get broken down are carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. ATP is the energy the body uses. If the ATP is too low, to maintain homeostasis, the body would produce more ATP. Thyroid cancer affects metabolism because the thyroid hormone that is secreted from the thyroid deals with metabolism. If the thyroid isn't secreting enough or any thyroid hormone, the body will not perform metabolism right, making the person potentially overweight and tired. In order to correct this, the person would need to take thyroid hormone supplements to get their metabolism back in check. The cancer might also make the thyroid produce too much thyroid hormone, which would then cause the person's metabolism to work in overdrive, causing them to be really hyper and to lose weight. To correct this, the body would try and stop the thyroid from secreting too much of the thyroid hormone, but in some cases with the cancer, they wouldn't be able to stop. So that's one of the cases where they would get their thyroid removed. The body would also react into like this situation by not producing as much energy to try and balance itself out, which is very hard to do with cancer, but with regular, like just normal. The endocrine system is responsible for hormone secretion. In order to maintain homeostasis, the body would need to produce more or less of the hormone that is being produced too much or too little. If the hormone is completely missing, the person needs hormone supplements. For thyroid cancer, the thyroid is part of the endocrine system, so it really affects the endocrine system if it's not working properly. If the thyroid cancer is affecting how much of the hormone is being produced, then the whole endocrine system would try and either make more or less depending on how much is being produced, and it might not be able to due to the fact that the cancer is really taking over. The thyroid also controls metabolism and regulates cell growth and activity. The body would try and get the thyroid to either make more or less depending on how much the thyroid hormone is in the body. If the person's thyroid is completely removed due to the cancer, then they need to take hormone supplements in order to live a normal, healthy life